Week 5 edition of the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Bobby Moravia, with Max Sutton to my left. And Max, what's a Sunday without freezing cold temperatures and rain in the YMSL?
Average temperature in June so far is below 65. Unbelievable. And what's a Sunday in the YMSL without another controversy?
It sure is. First of all, let's go. Eerily similar weather conditions to week 1.
Unbelievable.
Where the wind was blowing in, temperatures were frigid, the field was in great condition.
And the fields really were very, very nice.
Which was
the infields was soft, and I mean the outfield grass was a little wet, of course, but the fields were nice. But like you said, April 12th or whatever we played, it's not crazy to say.
Not to say that, but June
3rd,
it's just insane, absolutely insane,
puzzling.
And all 5 weeks, we can honestly say it's been like
never a shoe-in gorgeous.
No. So let's get right to the action. Some great matchups last week. And why don't we start off with 2 red-hot teams coming into this game in Fireman's East with
so Fireman's East is the Firehouse.
Firehouse. You'll get that one of these days.
Never. I'm never going to get that.
Just remember, the other one is the
playground. Yes, if I hear something, it's not playground.
So, the red-hot Dem Bums coming in 5-3. And against the Ducks, who are 4-4, coming off a sweep of the A's 6 days earlier. And what a matchup! Now all of a sudden you have, Leo Casson red hot since the trade, and Jeffrey Saka. And I have to say, we both got.
We always say, let's look back at our predictions.
We didn't have to. We were reminded.
We were reminded right away. Everybody reminded us. Which is fun. It happens to be, I mentioned, I saw both these teams personally. My team played them both. And I guess my prediction went on to what happened to me. I got slaughtered by Dem Bums. I saw Dem Bums at their highest note. And the Ducks, I beat too. I swept. So I saw Dem Bums as, that team. But unfortunately, Dem Bums looks like they hit a little bit of a lull right now.
Yeah, well, it's funny. We talked about the Ducks' defense has been absolutely incredible. I mean, really.
Right. So nobody ever doubted that. I think most of us said they have one of the better defenses in the league.
Right.
The big questions we always had about this Ducks organization is
the offense.
Yeah, and you mentioned to me earlier the guys coming through, like Eric Greenberg was a name after the draft people thought was overdrafted. Right. I guess not. Benny Rishti,
another guy.
It's a feel-good story.
Yeah.
12th round pick, and he's hitting the ball hard every time up.
Right.
Credit to Benny Rishti and Jigga. Guys that sort of get overlooked are really chiming in on this team. We know that Eshko is going to get his hits, and we know
Henry and ABJ.
We know the big names. We get it, but these Sonny coming through with big hits.
Yeah.
And, it's a feel good story for their offense.
Also, when Harry Brock finally came into his own this week,
that's right.
A big week. Defensively also played phenomenal.
So he's playing third?
Yeah.
So they're keeping Henry at short center, it looks like.
And why not? There's so much action up the
middle. It's working. Okay, it's great. Wait, if Harry's playing great defensively, that's a no-brainer. So, and I heard Harry's really hitting the ball nice.
Yeah, but really, the guy hitting the ball is Greenberg. I mean, he's finally,
what was cool? It's funny. I watched him. He's putting his weight in the ball now.
Yeah.
He's really hitting the ball hard.
In the gap, he was hitting over Jacobati's head. He was
really,
yeah.
So we've already seen in the last 3 weeks him hitting 2 or 3 balls far.
Right.
And against Allie's team on that Memorial Day weekend matchup, he was hitting a lot of shots up the middle to right field, spraying the ball. So good for Eric Greenberg. I mean, it's a very big thing for that team. And Leo Casson is pitching well.
Yeah, he's pitching very good. We just got a note. Actually, Leo this week is going to be starting his delivery from the second base bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So here on our show, we don't hold back any punches. So a couple of things were brought up for those that didn't hear. It's been chirping through the league that the rule when you're pitching. There's going to be a video sent later. Your right foot, if you're a righty, would have to be anchored on the mound. So there was words out that. Should I say it? Well, captains on other teams did bring it up prior matchups.
Actually, any part of the mound, as long as it's on them. It could be on the corner.
It could be a corner, any 24 inches.
Right.
Any part of it, exactly. And even if there's not a mound there, where you're pitching from, your right foot has to start on it. And
even if you take go back.
Right. If you rock a little back, your foot has to be on the mound contact. Credit to all of our pitchers in the league. Every pitcher does do it. Yeah, and I'm going to say, including Jimmy Malach, who wasn't doing it. So people were saying they're seeing that Leo was taking a step. Does he always do it? I'm sure he doesn't always do it. Maybe he's doing it 50% of the time.
Right.
I guess it's going to have to be something that he's keen on that he doesn't do anymore, because word's out, and all the umpires are going to get notices before games, which is cool. It's fine. We play by the rules.
Well, I mean, all of a sudden when he's red
They're
hot
doing well.
4-0,
Okay.
all of a sudden they're coming out of the woodwork. I didn't hear any chirping when he was getting hit in the first couple of weeks.
So
was he doing it the first couple of weeks?
He was.
Team, yeah.
He was. He did it, and guess what? That is how things work.
Right.
If you're seeing a guy get hammered, well, you let him do whatever he wants.
Right.
Getting hammered. You don't want him to change what he's doing, right?
Nobody's going to open their mouth.
Right. Let him keep doing it, right? When the guy starts doing well, if that's, by the way, he did pitch very well against my team in the second matchup. We beat him 2-1.
Right.
And yeah, he was doing it a little bit. I rolled my eyes a little bit. It was one game, Erev Shavuot, but it is something that you do have to keep your mind on. This isn't, I just want to be very clear, and I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of the players. This isn't a, what's the word? This isn't an attack on Leo. It's not an attack on ABJ Cohen.
He might not even know he's doing it.
Yeah, he might have no. I bet you he doesn't know.
No.
It's not an attack on Sonny, on any of the captains. It's basically an attack on the umpires.
Yeah.
This is going to be something the umpires are going to have to deal with. And if they roll their eyes and say, shut up, what are we going to do? But for the other team to just say, oh, no, let everything go. What do you mean? So let me miss first base. You know what I mean? Rules are rules.
Yeah.
So that's all. On to the next. But it had to be brought up because it's always fun.
Yeah, so those games were game 1 they won 5-1, and game 2 9-5.
9-5.
And they pretty much held Jack Abadi in check.
When Jack Abadi said he had only 2 hits on the day.
Yeah, 2 hits.
And Jack himself told me that the scores were worse than that, meaning like his team felt like
they were not really in the game.
Right, never in it. 5-1 is a close game, especially with that Dem Bum lineup. But he said our team was just doing everything wrong.
Yeah,
that's the feeling they got. They're hoping they hit their low. You don't want to get lower than that, but getting swept is tough. But again, that Dem Bum team, everybody was high on, so you got to give a lot of credit to the Ducks.
100%. Now, ironically, the Ducks 4-0 the last 2 weeks without Jay-Z Zolta as their catcher.
Wow, so maybe Jigga's going to stay catching?
And, so maybe Jigga and
Leo
have some sort of camaraderie.
That's interesting.
It's a big, big.
Maybe there's a good rapport there. I don't know.
I
mean, Jay-Z's an all-star catcher.
Yeah, he's been in India, so maybe the Bombay Bobcats might be interested in him for his services.
It's really in India? I hear you.
So that's going to be very interesting to see how going forward. But Jigga, I saw had good command of Leo, and it was
framing pitching. He was doing it. And Jigga's been a catcher. It's not like he hasn't caught in the past. He has.
Yeah, for sure. So he knows what he's doing, and he's been getting big hits too.
Yeah,
by the way, he's been getting
good for him. Yeah,
you mentioned Ben Richty also delivered, so it's good to see. It's a feel-good story.
It is a feel-good story. A lot of players, a lot of the reporters, including myself. We said that offense is going to be anemic, and we were wrong.
Yeah.
They're proving us that they could play. They could hit.
Yeah.
Nobody ever doubted their defense, but they're sitting pretty at 6-4.
Very pretty right now, 6-4. So now let's shoot over to Fireman's West, aka Playground from Action.
Thank you.
That for the future. And you had the A's versus Max Sutton's Raw, and the A's coming off a sweep versus the Ducks.
Getting swept.
Right. Yeah, getting swept a week earlier, and on the same field. And really, right off the bat, they came out smoking.
Before I start anything, Mabruk to Nathan Zolta.
Nathan, yes, on behalf of the YMSL, the baby girl.
I heard that the A's organization is boycotting the baby party because they wanted him at the game, and they wanted. Was it a boy? Or was it a girl? It was a girl. So they said they want him to have the party on the field during the game next week.
Yeah.
But
we should mention it's the second week in a row they were without Nathan Zolta.
Right.
So he's one of the top, obviously right-handed. It is
big hitter. Defensively, I could tell you off the bat, it didn't hurt them.
No.
Because I knew going into this game, Sam Loudon earned his stripes, and he did it again, by the way, playing a really strong left field. Nathan Zolta was going to start at third base.
Right.
And first thing I'm going to say going in, Saul Ancona played a really strong third base. not going to tell you he made diving stops, but every play that he had to make, and there was plenty of them.
Yeah.
He made every play. He made every throw to first.
Yeah, he's got strong arm.
Really does. So, threw it into Ike Mavor at first. Good throws. So he played a really good third. So defensively, they were not at a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose.
And also Ruby Sack and Wright is playing great.
Ruby, that's my team, but he was playing great. Albert Roditi played.
Roditi and
Ruby Shalou in center.
Ruby.
He has his moments where he looks like an amazing center fielder, and he has moments where he just like loses himself. Now I'll say,
even Ali said the defense was great.
It did. The infield they played well. So
and
now,
Jimmy did get the ball back. We should mention. So
Jimmy got the ball back and pitched very well. Now game one. I don't remember the first 3 innings. It's probably better off that way. I took a shot in the head personally, actually. Someone threw a ball at my head. It wasn't cool. But the first 3 innings, my team's defense, we were a circus show. It's my team, and I'll be the first to admit it. It was bad. Nothing was good. The opposition we had 2 out, 2 on in the first inning. 2 out, 2 on. Yeah, it was 2 out, 2 on. I forgot who hit it. I think Morris Harari hit a ground ball on the infield to the right side. Easy play to get out of the inning. Turns out to be a bobbled ball. 2 runs scored. It was so nasty. Don't ask. And then just the wheels came off early. Really was bad. To say that Tuna pitched good in a 10-2 loss is an amazing thing, but I'm going to really say he did. He pitched well.
The only big hit was a 3-run home by Al.
Yeah, and it was 8-2 at the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was extended garbage time at the time, as Marv Albert would say. But Ali hit a bomb, he had a nice shot, but the game was sort of over. There was a 6th inning, 8-2. So that was a 3-run shot. We ended up, was it 11-2 final score?
Yeah, 11-2.
So it was pretty ugly.
Right.
Our team was in disarray. Mount Sabon did erupt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was not in a happy mood. He was like, extend the trading deadline. He was going wild.
Yeah. And Mo Cassim looked a little.
He looked a little lost.
First game 1.
Yeah, I think he left his glove at home in the first game. And, second game he went back. He got his glove. I don't know, figuratively or literally, but he in the first game his head was not really there. Defensively, offensively, he's tearing the cover off the ball. I want to bring out one cool point. It was the first inning. We had first and second, nobody out, and the A's got a triple play on us. Fly ball to left. Yeah, very unconventional. But fly ball to left. Michael Solomon hit. It was caught. We caught a runner going to third, and they threw the ball back to second. A lot of stuff went down. Ended up being a triple play. I think that might have taken my team, that's what got everybody in disarray, and then hell broke loose. So game 1, tough loss. I would say it was probably the low of our season. We had a bad 2 losses earlier. This might have even been worse because when them bums beat us, they just hit the ball well.
Right.
This time, I'm not going to say they didn't get hits, but a lot of errors on our field. Disgusting. Game 2 didn't start off so well.
No.
This is
off the bat.
Off the bat, down 5-0.
Whoever had that pregame speech obviously didn't work.
It's funny because I chose not to do the pregame speech before the game 2. I chose to do it in the middle of game 1, like in the 5th, 6th inning when I felt all right, we're in trouble here. I said I'll do it now to try to get everybody focused. I guess it didn't work much. Down 5-0. Early, and this is where
any big hits out of it, or just a couple stringing a lot of hits?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember any one big hit. I'm sure there was some hits. I feel bad not giving anybody major credit.
Well, according to Jimmy, he was 7 for 7, so he must have got a couple big hits.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to go there. But I remember Jimmy at least getting 3 hits to the right side. But they did go up 5. There was one big key play. It was 2-0 theirs. And then we had a throw out to the plate, and Ira Schulman, welcome.
Let's not forget Ira Schulman.
Don't worry, I was going to get him in there. But he did. It was a tough play at the plate. He probably should have caught it.
Yeah, he told us about that. And a couple of runs scored after that.
Yeah, and that's what made it from 2 to 5, 2 to 4, and then they scored another one. So that was tough. But big credit to my team.
Really, I mean, that's to be down 5 against Malak.
Be down 5 after losing the first game. Everybody's down. Nobody's positive on the team at that point. I'm trying my best, grasping for straws. Let's go. And we scored a quick one. And we had second and third, 1 out. Somebody popped up, and Avi Saruya, rookie Avi Saruya. To me, this was a huge hit. 2 out, second and third. It was in the first or second inning. Hits a line drive up the middle to bring home a run to make it 5-3. I think it was a huge hit.
That's a very good 2 outs.
2 outs, and they had second and third, 1 out. We had, so they could have got out of the jam. Avi Saruya, clutch hit. Then later on, Irish.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Oh my goodness, it's huge. Ira Schulman comes up with bases loaded, 2 outs. And one thing I could tell you about Ira Schulman, he's got quick wrists because Jimmy was throwing fastball after fastball. And Jimmy's fastball's fast. It was 0-2 count, and he just kept fighting him off. And he worked out a weak hit ground ball. Allie called it a swinging bunt, but it went past the mound to the right side, to the left side of Jimmy. I think Allie ended up with it, I think. I'm so confused by the play. The ball ended up in the parking lot. 2 runs scored. Ira gets a double out of it. Major play for us. It was a game changer. We ended up tying it up. I forgot exactly how we tied it up, but Ira had 4 hits on the day.
All very similar.
Yes, ground ball to short that was double pumped. Ground ball to Ancona at third that was he waited. I think they were playing a little too deep on him, maybe. Ground ball past him out. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. But he found his way on. Then I got to give a big tip my cap to Tuna. As bad as everything started, we gave up 5 runs in the first inning. We went, we played 9 innings?
I think it was 9 or 10, yeah.
9 or maybe 10 innings. Shutout ball from then on out. So credit to my defense. The boys buckled down. Bobby mentioned before, Ruby Saka, second game, played a great right. Everybody in the infield buckled down. Joe Greenberg, Elliot Saka on left. Everybody, played well. We held them down. And top of the 10th, who got the leadoff hit for us again?
Well, let's talk about a couple of interesting defensive strategies you pulled.
Oh, we're going to end with that one. That's fun.
It was 2 innings in a row, I believe.
Yeah, seventh and ninth.
Yeah.
7th inning, we had a tie game at 5, and they had Jimmy Malach coming up. Somebody was on second. I forgot who was on second. Runner on second.
Could have been Allie, no or no?
2 outs. It wasn't Allie because he wasn't getting on then. Maybe he was running. Maybe I don't know. But it was a runner on second, 2 out with Jimmy Malach coming up to the plate and Ike Mavora on double deck in the hole. So no brainer. We said we're walking Jimmy. He's batting a .655. Controversial or not, he's batting a .655. So he's hitting well.
Give or take a couple.
Yeah, whatever it is, he's on base. So we put him on first. First and second, 2 out for the veteran Ike Mavora. And we were about to pitch. Salim looks at me and gave me a look. You want Ike Mavora to beat you, Max? You know the guy could get a hit. I said, you know what? Ike, go to first base. We walked Ike Mavora to make it bases loaded for
very unconventional.
Very dangerous move. It's a trust in my pitcher because he could pull up a Kenny Rogers and walk home the winning run. But
with Maris Harari on
Maris Harari, lefty. So now, this is not a discredit to Maris Harari. This is a compliment.
More of the veterans.
Yeah, the veterans, Jimmy Malach and Ike Mavora, who's a veteran, who I feel like if you tell a pitcher to pitch Ike tough, you might throw him an outside high fastball.
And he'll go,
he'll poke it.
He's a professional.
Yeah, he'll poke it over the first baseman's head. He'll do something annoying and get a hit to win the game. So let Froggy beat you. Now, Maris Harari is a solid hitter, but
he's a young kid also.
He's younger. Yeah. Pressure was on him. He hit a pretty deep fly to right.
But basically routine.
Routine play. Ruby made the catch. We got out of the inning. I looked smart for doing it. Thank God it worked out. We didn't score for 2 more innings. Now, something else about this move that worked was
you use guys in the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Now the big hitters were gone.
Yeah.
So 2 innings later, the identical situation came up again.
Now you're up by 2. Right?
No, we're still tied. Still tied.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
In the 9th. So we did it again. Put on Jimmy and
it was the same scenario, right?
Same exact scenario. Runner on second. I walked Jimmy and I walked Ike Mavora. Froggy at that point did something strange. He swung at the first pitch. Yeah. I don't know if he was told to swing at the first pitch.
No, he definitely wasn't told.
No.
He
was ridiculed after that. Okay.
I mean, let the guy work. You have
make him work
the game.
Right. Strike one, big deal.
Because as much pressure's on Froggy on Tuna.
Oh my goodness! Of course. So I would say take strike 1. I would never tell him take strike 2, but
I mean, Tuna's got pretty good control.
He does, and he had very good control on Sunday. But I think he swung at a strike, by the way.
Yeah, he did. But it was the first pitch.
First pitch, and he popped up. I mean, maybe he was thinking, let me just get out of here and get the hit, and it'll look like a hero. Boom, right away. It
was probably a good fastball right down the pipe.
It was a strike to hit.
Clock it,
and he ended up popping it up, so that worked in our favor. And then in the top of the 10th, Ira Schulman led off with a hit, which was huge. Joe Greenberg, being a vintage Joe Greenberg in a big spot, got an opposite field hit down the right field line.
Yes, that was a nice hit.
Yeah, Ira ended up going to third. And then Elliot Saka, in major clutch fashion, because the way the day was going, we wanted more than 1 run. Elliot Saka hit a really nice shot into the right center field gap. That brought home a run, and then we ended up getting home another run, and we ended up going on to win 7-5.
7-5.
So it was a big,
It was. I have to tell you, it's a huge victory for you.
fun game for my team. We went from probably the worst game we've ever played in our lives to the most enjoyable game of the season.
Right.
You know, and it showed a lot of grit. My team. One thing I give about my team: we never give up. You know, we've come back 4 times this season from big deficits. Not good to be down, but
No,
also,
but this was a huge deficit.
was a big
5
win.
runs.
And hey, being 3-5 or being 4-4 is the world of a difference. To
No,
me. So,
a devastating loss once for the A's to lose.
Yeah, it
They
was
were so
tough.
close to sweeping, and then
yeah, I think they were counting their win a little too early because we looked so bad and they had a 5-0 lead, so they took the pedal off the metal a little bit.
I mean,
But it happens.
You know, then the loser of that game really would have been in a tough situation.
Spot, right? So I mean, they're 4-6. They're not in deep trouble. They control their own destiny. So that's the bottom line. When you control your own destiny, you can't really complain. So they're still in the driver's seat, but they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, no, definitely they got a couple of tough games ahead. So let's shoot over to Dow Avenue, where they had 2 interesting matchups. First, you had the red hot first place Orioles coming in at 6-2 with MVP Cy Young candidate Max Yedid.
It's
amazing what difference a year makes.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
he's more healed now, right?
Yeah,
he's stronger.
I mean, he was pitching maybe 2 games last year, whatever the case was, versus nobody even knows what to make of the Florida locked team because they haven't played in a month.
Haven't played. The games they played, right? The games they played.
They don't know what they're